Hi everybody, it's Katie back with another episode of my vlog. And I don't normally like to talk about current events. I don't normally like to talk about politics. I sure as hell don't like to talk about the US presidential election ever because it's usually total garbage. And we're all exhausted by it already. But I got something to say here. And the thing I have to say is y'all need to be supporting Bernie Sanders. That's kind of the end, but I'm going to tell you why. My entire adult life that I've been paying attention to presidential politics in this country, it's been the same story every single time. Vote for this guy or vote for that guy. And they're not that different, but it's kind of a hold your nose and vote for the lesser of two evils type of situation. We've had elections where viable looking third-party candidates tried to come in and they're not able to get enough votes on their own, so they just wind up spoiling the election. I'm thinking about Ross Perot. I'm thinking about Ralph Nader, right? What we have right now in the 2020 election here in America is a totally unique opportunity to actually get someone different elected president. We actually had this opportunity 4 years ago, and the Republicans managed to do it. And they got someone different elected president. And, depending on which side of the political fence you're on, that's either gone well or hasn't gone well, right? But the interesting thing to me about Trump's candidacy and presidency is that it's different. It's not just the same politics as usual. It breaks the cycle of, oh God, I guess I'll vote for that guy, even though I don't really want to. People were excited about voting for Donald Trump. Not me, of course, but people were excited about it. I don't feel like anyone is excited about voting for Joe Biden. I'm watching people my age, that's Generation X, not old ass people, but people in their 40s, talking about vote blue no matter who, and get in line behind Joe Biden, even if you have to hold your nose to vote for him. Now, they're already talking about this, and we're not even through the primary season. First of all, that's just a silly idea. You shouldn't say that now. It's bad poker. Like, you shouldn't be telling the DNC now that you're just going to get in line and vote for whatever their candidate is, because you're literally making your primary vote, like, not matter when you do that, right? Now is the time to say, no, I want Bernie Sanders to be the nominee, and if he doesn't get nominated, I'm not going to vote for whoever the nominee is. Why? Because that might scare them into actually doing something different this time. If you've already agreed you're just going to vote for whoever the nominee is, here's a newsflash. They don't care about you. You've already said you're going to do it. They don't have to win your vote with anything. Literally anything. But Bernie, the big disruptor for this election, is this totally other thing, right? He's not the same old, same old. He's not politics as usual. And that's why the Democratic machine is pushing so hard against him right now. They're scared of him. They're scared of the, revolution, if you will, but it's not going to be a revolution because his politics aren't that radical. They're very straightforward. They're easily implemented. It's not a problem. The problem is getting past the Democrats who don't want to get him nominated. And of course, I understand why they don't want him nominated. He's a total threat to their power and their base and all of that stuff. But here's the simple math of it, okay? Like I said, if you've already agreed to vote blue no matter who, your vote basically doesn't count or matter. I mean, like, we know who you're going to vote for, right? But let's say Joe Biden gets the nomination, okay? There's a lot of people out there who are not going to come in and vote for him. The vote for blue no matter who crowd will, but the other people won't. There's going to be a small number of centrists who kind of go, okay, well, he's a better choice than Trump. And there's going to be a small number of other people who go, well, we really got to stop Trump, so I'm going to go ahead and vote for Biden. Those numbers are not going to be that big because here's where the much bigger numbers are. The Bernie bros, the millennials, and the, half of the eligible voting population in this country who doesn't vote because they never feel like they're given a good choice of a candidate. So imagine Bernie Sanders getting the Democratic nomination. Imagine Look at how far he's come with the Democratic machine pushing against him. Imagine if they were pushing for him, pushing him forwards instead of pushing him back. Imagine how much support he would have from the Democratic base. Now, he's already got all the vote blue no matter who people, because you guys already said you were going to vote for whoever the nominee was. The centrists are going to be split, and we're going to lose some of them because they won't want to vote for Sanders because they're going to think he's too radical. Their numbers are not that big. They're especially not that big when you compare to the numbers of millennials who haven't voted yet. Shame on you, millennials. Why didn't you vote in your primaries? Well, I would guess it's your pathetic high school American civics class never told you how important it was to vote in the primary. Are the millennials going to come out for the general? If Sanders is the nominee, yeah, they will. I don't see a lot of them coming out to back Joe Biden. I just don't see it. And then there's the great mass of people who just don't vote. And again, it's millions and millions and millions of people who've never been accounted for because they feel like there's no candidate that truly represents them or truly would make a meaningful change in this country. Why? Because it's the same story every election cycle. Oh, just hold your nose and vote for the lesser of two evils. I promise you next time we're going to have a real candidate that you can really, really believe in. And a lot of people really, really believed in Obama, and he was a change. It's a change of skin color and a tiny bit of policy change, but not really very much. And it wasn't any kind of really radical, true type of change that this country needs. Bernie Sanders represents the type of change that this country actually needs. Sanders being the nominee represents the type of shakeup that we need in our election system, not just in our presidential person, but in the way that we elect the president. It's garbage. We all know it's garbage. Nobody likes the Electoral College. Nobody likes this staggered primaries. I live in a state where the primary isn't going to be held for another 2 months. It's going to be decided already by the time I even get to vote. That's crap. What is that? We all know this sucks. We all don't like it. But it seems like so many people's answers to this sucks and I don't like it is to just keep doing the same thing. And guess what, guys? If you just keep doing the same thing, you just get more of the same thing. You never get anything different. We have a unique, this is a once in my lifetime opportunity. I've never seen anything like this before. A once in a lifetime opportunity to actually change things, to actually make something different happen. And if you feel like the way things are going in America, the status quo is benefiting you or suiting you or something that you're backing, I guess hold your nose and vote for Joe Biden. But everybody I know is pissed. They're having economic troubles. They're having trouble getting health care. They're having trouble with housing. There's so many problems in this country which could be solved with a candidate like Bernie Sanders that are absolutely not going to be solved with a candidate like Joe Biden. And don't get me started on his track record on the environment. And really don't get me started on creepy Uncle Joe and his handsy treatment of women and girls on stage, on camera, at public events. Have you seen the way he manhandles women? Anyhow, I'm kind of going on and on here, but I think you guys got my message. We have a unique opportunity here. If your state has not had the primary yet, please vote in the primary. Please back Bernie Sanders. Please use the power of your vote to say, I want something different. I don't just want this same old crap that, frankly, the Democrats and Republicans have just been serving up for literally as long as I can remember. I want something different. I want Bernie Sanders. You guys can help make this happen if you get out there and vote in that primary. But also, for all of my friends who I see talking about this vote blue no matter who thing, stop it. You're not playing good poker. You need to be more aggressive with your stance and say that you don't want Joe Biden. Go ahead and say it. Don't say, I'm going to hold my nose and vote for him for president. That's gross. Just don't. And all the people out there I see trying to police their friends online, it's like somebody comments something about the election and the next person comes in and says, oh, but you promised you're going to vote for the Democratic candidate, right? No, Don't promise them anything. You don't owe them that. You don't need to do that. You can remain silent if you don't feel like getting into a confrontation with your friends. You don't have to respond to that. I give you permission. I hope that you guys will join me in backing Bernie Sanders and not backing creepy ass Joe Biden, and actually using your vote and making it count this time for something real, something you believe in. But it's also just good math. I really believe Bernie has the numbers if he's the Democratic nominee. Now, it's hard for him to get there, but once he has the nomination, he will have the numbers because he will be able to pull people who would never come out to vote for Joe Biden, and he's going to be able to pull millions and millions of those people. Joe Biden's just not going to be able to. Now, I have accurately predicted every single presidential election that I have paid attention to in my adult life. Going back to 1992, I have called it every single election. The only one I ever got wrong was I called Al Gore for president in 2000. And as we all know, the Supreme Court handed that to G.W. Bush. That was not the actual vote. So I feel like I have a pretty good track record here. I've even made hundreds of dollars betting on various elections. So I'm usually right about this stuff. And my hot take early on in this election cycle, which obviously continues to be my opinion, is if you want to stop Trump, if that's your big deal, you need to get Sanders nominated. If the Democrats can get it together to get Sanders as the nominee, we can have him as the president. If the Democrats nominate anyone else besides Bernie Sanders, you're looking at 4 more years of Trump. That's my prediction. So you guys know what to do. Get out there and vote. Stop talking about vote blue no matter who. Tell your friends who live in states that have not had their primary yet to get out there and vote in the primary. Go ahead and register as a Democrat if your state has closed primaries. Even if you don't feel like one, you can still make a change here, right? So all that said, get out there, vote for Bernie Sanders, vote for real, meaningful change, and stop playing bad poker on your social media. That's it for now. I'll be back in a few more days with something way less politically charged. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.